Welcome to another episode of the BambooSZN Podcast. Now we good, keep it. I'm your host, sober wellness coach Dorian Wormsley. I was locked in, as you can see. This episode or this podcast is a podcast where you hear stories of transformation, growth, resilience. Me and my guests here are raw, true stories to help you feel inspired and helping you along your way, your journey of growth. This episode is sponsored by Formuli. If you are looking for supplements, you're tired of doing the guessing work, Formuli is the place to go. You'll take a quick quiz and they'll give you personalized supplements for you that are science-backed and not filled with a bunch of stuff you do not need. If you use my code BambooSZN, you'll get 15% off your first purchase. Go get your supplements, get your body right. Now, this episode is also dedicated to my grandfather, Gonzalo Garza Gonzalez, who passed away in 2018 to dementia. So shout out to my grandfather all the way from Coahuila, Mexico. Love you. My guest today is a gerontologist,
Yes.
educator and advocate for caregivers around the world. She's helping people get attention who might not be getting it, making sure they get support. I bring you Carrie Aalberts, aka the Dementia Darling.
Yes. Hi. Woo. Thanks for having me. And thanks for starting with that shout out. That is so important to share your story, because when you share your experiences and your families, that's how other people feel seen and heard. So thank you.
And that's what the podcast is about. That's why I have guests like you on here, and every other guest I have is for them to share their stories, because we may think our story isn't as impactful because, oh, nothing happened to me. Like, no, there's somebody, and there's billions of people in the world. There's somebody who literally is going through, if not the exact same, very similar. Like, I fell out a 4-story window. I had a drinking problem. Oh, you didn't know that? Well, yeah, I fell out a 4-story window.
4-story window. Holy
yeah,
moly.
10 years ago. I had a drinking problem. Now, you probably didn't have that happen to you, but I'm sure you've had a moment of rock bottom when you were like, how am I going to get out of this? Why did this happen to me, right? And that's kind of why I share my story to people and have people like you on to share your story, but also share what you do and who you help. So give us a little breakdown of who is Carrie Aalberts? What do you do? Who do you help?
Oh my goodness. To sum it up, I am a full-time educator and advocate dedicated to cheerleading dementia caregivers. I want to be a place of safety and community and support for the dementia community, for people living with dementia, for their caregivers, for their families. And so I have been able to, through the work that I've done in getting my degrees focused in gerontology, which is the study of aging, and working with people living with dementia and their caregivers in all different care settings, has led me to being able to support them on social media. So that is what has gotten me to where I am today, but it's all started with my grandmother as well. My grandmother passed away with dementia, and my dad was her main family caregiver. So that was the ultimate start of what Dementia Darling is, and why I even have an interest in this. And then, but all through my career and my education, it has led me to this full-time education and advocacy position that I have just put my entire heart into, and I am just so grateful for.
I love that. I love why you're into it, and I can see through your social media of how passionate you are about what you do, and that's because what you're doing is something I'd never seen or heard of until. Oh, shout out to your sister, Amy. Sorry. So I work with your sister, and she referred or connected us and told me, "Oh, my sister is doing great things." And I saw your Instagram. I'm like, wow, so nice. I never even thought about that. What are caregivers going through, right? And I know about dementia, but it was just something different. I haven't seen something. I got to hear more about this. And you mentioned your start came when your grandmother had it, dementia, and your father was her caregiver. How old were you when that occurred?
Yeah, so a big accident occurred that took my grandfather's life, and my grandmother had a really bad brain injury from that, and that catapulted her into dementia. And so I was 6 years old. Sorry, I was 6 years old. My sister was then 9 years old. And then my grandmother passed away when I was 13. So we had those, next 7 years to really get to know her in her, progression of dementia. But my dad had to overnight become a full-time family caregiver for his mother and grieve his dad losing his father. So we did not know what the heck was going on. No one explained what dementia was to us. I can tell you that. And it makes me so sad to think back. Like, my poor parents were probably like, what is happening? And just flying by the seat of their pants, like so many caregivers do, because like you said, like so many people don't have the support or the acknowledgement. And that's why you've never heard of what I do, because I had to create this job because I was so upset for caregivers that they couldn't find this, that they couldn't find someone to just say, you are not alone and this sucks. And thank you. Thank you for showing up for your people, because not everyone does. And I was so grateful that I watched my dad show up. And that definitely started, something inside of me that I didn't know would become my life.
Wow. At such a young age to go through that and see that, right? It's almost like a blessing and a curse. A blessing because you kind of don't know exactly, but then a curse kind of like, it's a little bit traumatizing to see not only just your grandparents, one passing away and one slowly going away in a sense, but also your father.
Yeah.
Watching him have to go through that grieving process, and I can only imagine losing a parent and then having to take care of one and almost slowly watch them go away.
Exactly. The long goodbye.
That's what they call it, the long goodbye?
The long goodbye.
Wow.
You're losing them multiple times,
Ooh.
right? Every loss, every, memory lost or person they don't recognize, that's another grief. And we actually call that, that's compounding grief. It just keeps pounding up, and then they never really get time to process that until long after maybe the person is no longer with us. And then on top of that, there's anticipatory grief, where they're always anticipating the next goodbye, the next loss. Lots of grief.
How's your father now?
He is so awesome about talking about his experience. I'm really grateful. Obviously, we have a lot of time since then.
Yeah.
not 13 anymore. But it's beautiful to see just how he was like, of course I would do that for my mom. Like it wasn't a question. And it was just beautiful, because now that I see that in my everyday work with people, it was cool to be able to be like, my dad did that. Like, my dad did that with no questions asked. My mom supported him and did all she could as well, and jumped into that as well in the time when there was even less information.
Yeah.
And he's just so great about also honoring who she was before dementia. And that is so important. Ask about the person before dementia, because it's sometimes hard to grasp those when you're in the thick of what's happening now. So we want to also remember who they were.
I think that's so important of the situation you're in, or just shows the important role our parents play in our lives, because you seeing him, having that compassion, that willingness to help somebody, that willingness to do those things, it trickled down to you, to now here you are, however many years later, now you're in this, pretty much doing what he was doing, and not only helping caregivers, but just spreading the awareness to others to shed light on them. Like, I see that it's hard for you out there, other caregivers.
So hard. It's the hardest job on earth, if you ask me. Like, one of my things I always say, I'm like, dementia caregivers should be making what an NFL quarterback is making. I'm sorry. They have the hardest job on earth, emotionally, physically, mentally, all the things. And it sometimes is 20 years. Like, it's not a small diagnosis. Like, it does not go away in, the fast time. It is a long, progressive disease. And it is one of the most expensive. I think it actually is the number one most expensive disease in the U.S. I need to fact check that. But I know Alzheimer's is one of the most expensive diseases to care for, because it is such a long, progressive journey.
Do you know if that, before your grandma, was it in the family at all?
This is the thing. We are still so behind on diagnosing. We could look back and think, but they weren't getting diagnosed. They were probably, it's just getting old.
Yeah.
I'm sure, people forget. That's just getting old. This is not a normal part of aging, and people still think it is. So maybe, but I think when my dad, we would talk back like, did your grandma? And he'd be like, she was just like how grandmas were back then. Like, I don't know, and you just don't know unless it was really apparent, maybe a personality type dementia variant. But unless it's, really prominent, a lot of people, because it's not just memory loss, it's a lot of other things, it goes undiagnosed. And people are told it's depression. That's one of the biggest things, is it's misdiagnosed as depression. And my grandmother lived with severe depression. And I believe that was also due to her dementia, like that led to her dementia diagnosis along with that TBI, the brain injury. So depression plays a big issue into getting a good diagnosis in a lot of instances. So I feel like depression ran in my family, so maybe dementia did, honestly. There's a big correlation.
Do you, I don't know if you know this or not, but is there genes or anything within that they can find in people that's like a trait of dementia? Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's two kinds of like genetic predisposition. So we can have a genetic inheritance of a specific gene, but that is really rare. It is less than 1% of Alzheimer's cases are due to a specific gene. And it was like, you for sure are getting this. It's not as prominent even in other ones either, but it does happen. I think 2 or 3% in frontal temporal dementia where they have behavioral variants. And if you have that gene, it is a definite, you will be getting that dementia.
Oh, wow.
But then there's the other where it's you might just have a kind of a predisposition. And so if you take care of yourself or, you have these different things to outweigh it, you can really help to prevent it. So it's not a definite yes or no. But 40% of cases of dementia are preventable through lifestyle changes, 40%. Yeah. So it really, genetics doesn't have that much to do with it. I saw a post
on social media. I always forget which platform, but social media. It said something about people who take dance class or dancers have a lower percentage of getting dementia based off their mind is kind of always in that creative and active mode.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is, but do you feel like...
No, and even more than that, they're social. Socialization's huge, and probably they're out dancing. So yeah, they're cognitively, they're doing stuff, right? They're having to remember dance moves. Yeah. They're moving their body. So it's physical, it's social, it's, the cognitive stimulation. There's so many good things about being active and being in groups like that and going out and doing those things. So absolutely, that is true.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. But it's not a guarantee. This is the hard part is in my work, it took me so long to really wrap my head around it and still I have a hard time is, you would have people come in who were triathletes, who were vegan their whole life, who did everything right.
Yeah.
And they got young onset dementia or they got Alzheimer's. And so you can do it all right and then you can still get it. So that's what's so fucked up about dementia. I feel so Debbie Downer saying those things, but it's true and it sucks.
Yeah.
But we have to at least try to take care of our brain health and try to be that, 40% we can prevent. It's worth the try.
Now, so you're 13 when your grandma passes.
Yeah.
Life goes on. At what point did you decide you were going to get into the work you're in? Or did you already know at 13, you were destined, you moved forward at 13, middle school, just hey, I'm about to go take care of some people,
Definitely didn't know right away, but I did always gravitate towards seniors. I've loved seniors. I would go and do, I remember going to memory cares with my church group and playing games. I liked that. I felt safer around elders. My sister would always joke, you're a grandma in an 8-year-old's body, Carrie, all the time and still to this day. So I think it was kind of destined. But when I went to college and University of Nevada, Reno, shout out, Wolfpack,
okay.
Yes.
I got a UNLV hat on. I should have turned it around.
No, my dad was a professor at UNLV.
Oh, was he?
I had a choice between the two, and Amy and I were like, bye, we're not going to where my dad works. So yes, we had to leave. So, give us a break. But but when I went up there, I was thinking, because I kind of always thought I'd be an elementary school teacher. And then I finally realized, oh my God, you don't like kids. Can we just not? And I'd always say if you can't have a drink with me, please keep walking. I'm not doing this. And so when I saw they had a gerontology school, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And my parents were like, you're never gonna be out of a job. With the baby boomers, the rate of baby boomers. I mean, every single day, 10,000 baby boomers turn 65.
Wow.
So there's never going to be a lack of jobs in gerontology. Yeah. And so that was another drive. They were like, do it. And never looked back. Oh my gosh. And I just have to say, the first day I started freshman year, I remember being taught about this #1 dementia expert, Teepa Snow. And now I am headlining things with her.
Oh, wow.
It is, if you would have told me this, it's just insane. So everyone who's in the dementia community, go learn about Teepa Snow. She's #1 occupational therapist in dementia care. She's freaking incredible.
Wow.
Like when Bruce Willis's family got their diagnosis, they called Teepa Snow to their
forgot about
house.
Bruce Willis.
Like she is legit. And
Did he pass?
No.
He's still alive.
Yes.
Okay.
And so loved and so cared for. I actually know his wife personally, and she is Emma Hemming Willis. She's coming out with her book in September to share her journey and all
Is
she's
she his
learned.
caregiver?
Yes.
Oh.
Full-time caregiver. They have 2 young daughters, and Demi Moore and their daughters are also part of it. I mean, amazing family, just showing how love and being together is what's important.
Do you think people, because as we talk about him, I'm thinking about people who don't have the resources. Do you get where I'm going? Because of course he's
Don't get me started.
multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
You know, he has the resource where he can get the best doctors, the best care, not to worry about nothing in a sense. Is there a big difference that you've seen in your work of people who have the resources financially compared to the ones who don't?
Oh yeah, and we're not going to talk about all the cuts that are happening in our world right now because all of the elders,
Oh, right, because they're going to get their Medicaid cut, right? Damn.
Fucked, you guys. Like, people don't understand how fucked caregivers are and the people they care for. So, yeah, it's a huge problem. And when, there's not money to support these caregivers or, to get the equipment they need, because this progressive journey, you need different equipment throughout, walkers and wheelchairs, whatever you need. You need medications, going to doctors, all the things, and trying to find the doctor in the first place that can even get you in and get you a diagnosis within 2 years. But there's all of these things. And if a caregiver can't pay their bills or can't focus, like how are they able to do any of these things? And then on top of it, because they can't even take care of the person they're caring for, they're doing everything they can and just trying to get by and pay bills. They don't care for themselves. And in turn, we see a lot of caregivers get sick and pass away before their loved one.
Wow.
Stress-induced diseases and illnesses happen all the time in this space. And lack of resources, lack of money, lack of all these things, absolutely. And that's why, working with Hilarity for Charity, Seth and Lauren Rogan, they're very, vocal about, we had the resources and it was hard. So we can't even, this is why we do this work, to help the people that, because we can't even fathom it and it's not fair. And so they give out the best support. And
say it again so people can hear.
So it's Hilarity for Charity, and their HFC is the acronym for it. But it's Seth Rogan and his wife Lauren Rogan. Her beautiful mother passed away from early onset Alzheimer's, and they started this group years ago. I mean, 2016 or so now. No, even earlier. And it was to bring some levity and some light and awareness to this space. And I mean, they've had Seth in front of Congress talking. They've made huge strides in this space to bring awareness. But one of my favorite things about them is that they provide respite care hours. They provide these respite care grants. And respite care is time away from your duties as a caregiver, whether that's an hour, whether that's to take a nap and someone's just watching your person in the other room, or it's weeks, whatever it is. They award these grants. My friend got one and it changed her life. She hadn't taken a break in 4 years and finally was able to leave the house.
Wow.
I mean, they are providing vital resources. And so as you were saying, there is such a divide between the availability of resources for people, but I also want to state we are so lacking geriatricians and dementia experts to diagnose people that it doesn't matter if you have money or not, it's still going to be difficult in a lot of cases too.
Do you think people are kind of just like, they're old, it's part of it?
I think there's a huge stigma like that, yeah. Because not to downplay what the Willises have been through, because it took them years to get the right diagnosis, because we still don't understand FTD enough, and we still don't know the right people to go to, and we don't have, a bunch of people that are available to support this community. So it's just hard across the board, and then even harder when you don't have money, as you would, with everything in life. But it's just wild how expensive care is. Just
I can only imagine, because that's like you said, it can go from a year to up to 20 or
plus.
That's feeding, housing, medical bills, and then on top of that, your own life to take care of.
Anything about senior living costs? I worked at a place where it was, and this was 7 years ago, and it was $10K per month for a room. I know places that are $15K a month for a memory care room.
Damn.
How do people pay for that. Yeah.
And what happens if they can't? They just go homeless?
Yes. This is what keeps me up at night. Like, truly, is what we're going to do when people living with dementia and we have this homeless epidemic, because with baby boomers and, this influx of baby boomers. And then if you can think of, statistically how many people might be dealing with dementia, and specifically in Las Vegas, we live in one of the fighting capital of the world. So brain injuries, hi, Vegas. I mean, there's a lot going on here with, and as well as addictions can lead to, dementia issues, and drinking too much leads to dementia. And there's so many things just in our city. Can you imagine people that can't hold jobs and so they can't pay their bills and because they have dementia, but they can't get the support they need because they can't pay their bill? I mean, it's this cycle. This is something I've thought about for years and years, because I remember, again, one of my first days in school in gerontology, they were like, we are not ready, you guys. We need you in this field. We're not ready. And I'm how many years later, 15 years later, and I'm still hearing that woman in my voice, that professor going, we're not ready, because we're not. I'm sorry, this episode is so sad.
What? No.
I'm such a Debbie Downer, but this is just so real.
I've had some sad, I don't know if I had sadder, but I've had some real sad ones. No, it's the reality.
It's so real.
And it's like you said, it's a voice to people out there who the space is not tucked on. It's, like I said, the reality. It is what it is. If it's sad, it's sad. Let it be sad. It's okay.
You. Yeah, I'm always so worried because, look at the pink hair, trying to make it light. But yeah, it's so hard because it's just very sad. And the dementia community deserves so much more. So
what do you think are some things people might misunderstand when it comes to caregivers and dementia?
First off, I think a lot of people think caregivers choose to do this role. You don't choose. Most of the time. Some people do choose. I'm not belittling that. But most of the time you wake up like my dad did, an accident happened, and hello, you are a full-time caregiver whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And people don't get that. People are like, oh, you can leave? You're chilling watching TV with your loved one. Calm down. Like, these are the kind of things that they're told. And they're gaslit all the fucking time because people visit, and when you're there for a little bit, they might seem great. And you don't look at someone and say they have dementia. What does dementia look like? And so if someone's put together and looks normal and is talking to you, they're going to say, oh, you had to leave your job for this. This looks hard. When it's like they've been up all night. They are incontinent now. They are in a place where, they are scared to leave the home. They're falling, but you don't see that. And there's a huge disconnect there. We call it the show timing, if you will, where people can put all their energy into when visitors come. And then the caregiver gets to see when they don't have that energy anymore. And then you get to see the real what's going on. Because people living with dementia they can really put it together in certain places because they know, okay, people are around. I'm in a different environment. I need to kind of, and sometimes they can really put all that energy into being present and acting way better than they are.
Damn.
And so and that happens in doctors' offices, and then they're gaslit by doctors. Is a huge problem. So just not believing caregivers, I think, is one of the biggest things they're up against. Truly, just not understanding it. And again, you won't understand it unless you are one, Yeah. And I think we just have to acknowledge, at least I will never understand. I have not been a family caregiver.
Yeah.
I have been a professional caregiver, and it was the hardest job. So again, can't even imagine. So I validate that. I don't know what that's like. And I know it must be the hardest thing on earth. And I just want to validate that for them. I know I don't know what it's like to walk in their shoes. And I want to acknowledge that and just give them the acknowledgement that they deserve for what they do day in and day out. Because again, people do not get it.
I went to a home out here in Vegas. A woman I know, Shanice, she used to open up a home for dementia elderly. Yeah. And then she reached out to me at one point and was like, hey, if you ever want to come do fitness with them or just play with them, like come play cards, they like company, right? Because sometimes their family they put them there and they don't. And I went out there and I went on National Dementia Awareness Day, I believe it is, September 21st. And like I said, knowing my grandfather had dementia, I was like, let me go see. And I went, hung out with them. We did Oh, there was this one guy. Mind you, I mean, I don't know much about dementia, but for the most part, their memory isn't the best. But we did trivia on the YouTube, on the TV, and it was like 1970s or 60s trivia, something like that. And there were some questions of people I never heard of. He got every single one right. And I was like, damn. It was just so shocking to see. And I'm like, it was beautiful what she does. I need to look up her Instagram so I can shout her out. Shout out to Shanice. She has one home, maybe two now. But at the time,
connect us.
Yeah, I will. Now that I think about it, I will. She has one home in North Las Vegas. I want to say she opened a second one. And she started, I believe, because her grandfather had dementia. He was there. He might have been the one that was, I think it was him. Veteran as well, because he had his hat. It was about 2 years ago now. I'll connect you for sure.
Shout out to her.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Good. Those are the places we need. We need like small homes. I believe in like those smaller communities.
It was probably like 4 of them.
Yeah. Like
4.
I think that because that's what we're used to, right? We've lived in a home. And so when all of a sudden you're taking someone who needs a familiar environment and you put them in a medical model building, what? That doesn't make sense. We should be in a home with a living room and a kitchen and where we can interact with those things because that's what life is. Not being served every day. That's confusing. Not being able to do your laundry all of a sudden. Like these things, we think we're doing them a favor can actually be really disorienting and actually take a lot of quality from their life.
Wow. Almost pushing backwards.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. With the sad work you do, as you'll say, I don't think it's sad. I think it's great. But there's obviously moments of sadness and hardship.
Yeah.
How have you been able to maintain your own mental sanity and like staying in it?
Great question.
Yeah.
Can you tell me? Because I don't know. I am very vocal on my page and in life about my mental health struggles because I want caregivers who are dealing with caregiving and things like the mental health struggles I'm dealing with. I couldn't imagine on top of being a family caregiver because I can barely function. So I always try to be very, present about what I'm going through to just make someone feel seen if they're having a hard time. I live with depression, anxiety, and ADHD, and it rules my life. Every day it's like, it really depends how I go throughout all of my days, how my brain is. And I'm just trying to figure it out. I only got an ADHD diagnosis about 3 years ago or 2 years ago and still trying to figure that out for myself. And I just lean on people in my community as much as possible, specifically people that I have learned, that I have become close to in my work because they get it. They really get it because they're like, this is tough. And I know this is our calling and this is what we're supposed to be doing. And so they get like that push and pull of how hard it can be, but it's like, this is why I'm here on this planet. So it's just, they're so great at helping me come back to remember why you're doing this when it's really hard on those really tough days.
Do you I'm just, how do I put this question? I was gonna say, sometimes I think of questions, I'm like, answer is almost obvious, but I would like to think since you started working in this field of stuff, that kind of triggered your mental health to kind of go downward.
I've lived with depression my whole life. So got it from my grandma. It's biological. All the women, like most of the women in my family.
How old were you when you first like got diagnosed?
I was 15 when I started taking medication.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it?
For anxiety and depression.
What's it called?
It was Zoloft, I think,
Zoloft.
first. And then that just cashed out, didn't work anymore. And so worked through a couple different things.
Wow.
And then now it's mainly the like ADHD, trying to figure that out.
Adderall?
Yes, but it only worked for a little bit for me. And I've tried 5 different kinds of like ADHD meds. I'm just really not finding what works for me. It's just hard.
I'm going to connect you with a naturopathic doctor.
Okay, I'm down.
She was on here not too long ago. She had
so down.
OCD, ADD, she self-harm, all these things, trauma, a lot of trauma she shared with me on the podcast, and she found a naturopathic doctor for her that helped her help without feeling the need, like I need a pill to be better.
Yeah.
And I need more than just therapy.
Yeah.
So her point is it ain't just therapy and pills.
No.
We need other things, other resources. So I'll connect you with her. Maybe she can at least give you a consultation and see. Maybe, you never know.
No, that would be really cool.
Know.
I mean, I'm always open to trying things, and I just want to figure out how to be my best self. And I'm just trying to learn my brain and try to like be on top of like, okay, well, I feel this way because you have depression. How are we going to work through that? Like, I'm trying to reframe it now when I have really hard days. I'm like, you have depression. Like, this is your brain telling, like, you don't have, like, we don't have to be this upset right now. And I'm trying to reframe and remind myself that my brain is against me. And that's been helping me quite a bit with
shifting
reframing.
perspective. Nice.
Yeah.
When was like your last hardest depressive moment?
Oh my gosh. Like 2 days ago, but I
I could say 2 hours ago. I'm like, damn, you still came? Shit, thank you for the dedication. I appreciate you.
Well, I will say I left a long-term relationship this last month. So I would say this past month has been pretty hard on my mental health. Going like kind of up and down, having those moments. But I'm so proud of myself because this is my first breakup in my life that I'm so aware of my thoughts that I'm able to actually sit with them and work through them. And I'm like, I'm going to get through this because I'm actually working through them. I'm not running away and smoking weed all the time now. I'm actually sitting there and going, oh my gosh, this is why I feel that way. That's interesting. I'm allowed to be upset right now. Let's cry through this. And then I get through it in an hour and I'm like, you got that. That feels good. I just learned something about myself.
I don't need Chad. You know what I mean?
No, Chad.
I don't know his name. I don't want to say his name.
We're going to say Chad.
Yeah, just go with Chad.
Sounds about right. That would have been really funny if it was Chad.
It would have been. Wow. So 2 days ago, and was anything specific? Well, hold on. Let's go back a little bit. You said your long-term relationship came to an end. How long was it?
4 years.
4 years.
4.5. Yeah.
Was it long distance or in person?
No, in person. Lived together.
What was your final straw?
Oh my gosh. Feeling unsafe in my own home. When your nervous system doesn't know to be safe or when your nervous system goes back between safe and unsafe in your own home multiple times a day, that's not okay. And I've just noticed since being gone only a couple of weeks, I feel like I can breathe easier and I've slept better.
Wow.
So I think I should have listened to my body a while ago because I could feel it for a long time. And then one night at 11 p.m., done.
You just woke up and just, or not?
I was literally in the shower and I was like, done.
That's it.
I'm out.
Damn, shower brought the clarity. Got a good shower head.
I'm out. Should have taken that one. Damn it.
That shower head got you right off Temu.
Damn, that sounded bad. Oh God. Okay, yeah. It wasn't a retractable one. It was up there, I promise.
Oh, you said I should take it with me. Oh, damn, girl. You don't need no rose. You got that.
Absolutely not.
Got that shower head.
No.
All right, anyway, let's stop. I'll make sure.
Dementia Darling. No, I always joke. This has been on my podcast. Like, it is out there.
Well, it's funny.
No. I always joke that if it doesn't go well for me, I'm going to do DD After Dark, Dementia Darling After Dark. And I'll say dementia facts as I strip if I have to. I'm from Vegas. I'll start a Patreon. If that's the only way people are going to listen. No, I always joke. If shit goes south, if you see DD on Patreon.
Diddy got you inspired. Okay.
Let me throw up on the side now.
So anyway, you had your moment of clarity in the shower after 4 years. You decided to leave. Shout out to you. I know it's hard for leaving long-term relationships because you feel so comfortable. You feel, who am I without them? Or, you know what I mean?
Totally.
You get stuck in a sense. Even though you know you should leave, it's like you're so used to that person being there. Like they see you ups and downs, dinner, the good days, the bad days, and you go to alone.
I think the biggest thing for me has been like, I feel like like I owe him something. Like I keep, actually the other day I was like, well, he did all these nice things. So was I too mean? Or it's just like, no, just trying to going back and forth with yourself about like, well, they were nice that one day and going back and forth and like trying to kind of devil's advocate with yourself. That's the hard part. It's like, well, they did all those things. And it's like, that was bare minimum shit. They should have done those things.
Bare minimum. And I think as humans, sometimes we allow ourselves to accept the bare minimum, whether it's from others or for ourselves, not realizing we don't deserve just the number one sandwich by itself. We deserve the whole combo. I want the side. Well, not the side. That sounds like you don't side people. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like, we deserve optimal in our life. I like to use the word optimal because sometimes we settle for just mid-level.
Yeah.
When it comes to our health, when it comes to our friends, our people, job, everything. Sometimes we settle for just, I'm good.
Well,
I'm
it
making
can be comfortable.
That's it, comfortable. Like, you should be feeling on 10 when you're with somebody, right? Or whether it's romantic or friendship. They should make you feel on 10. Like, their life would crumble without you.
Yeah. No, I mean, and I will say, because I want to give respect to like the fact that I wasn't the best I could be in the relationship. And I know that. I know that. And so I'm really trying to like work through what I didn't do and how I didn't show up, because starting my business this past year, I've been very self-centered because I'm just trying to pay my bills.
Yeah.
I've been so focused on my work that I wasn't present in other relationships that I should have been, like in certain relationships in my life, like as much as I should have been. So I know it goes both ways. And so I'm learning that about myself. And I'm like, girl, maybe this means you need to be single for years and years and years and just do your shit, because this is what you want to do. Like, you want to work hard and you want to grow in that. And I realize I've been literally in relationships half my life. So it's like, let's calm down and just like be with myself.
Hang it up.
And that's why I'm excited.
Yeah,
like, it's not even about like I have so much respect for the people I've been in relationships with. And I just hope we can all grow, because I'm like excited for what I've learned from both of those, even if it ended weird or shitty. Like, I'm just so proud, because now I can see, wow, I'm not going to do that in my next relationship. I wasn't that great to him either sometimes. And that's okay, because I'm fucking human. Like, and I'm just trying to give myself grace. Like, you are human, and you were dealing with opening a business. Give yourself a break. Like, yeah, you made some mistakes. Doesn't mean you're a terrible person. Yeah. So just trying to give myself grace, because
it's time to hang it up.
Yeah.
And dive into the business.
Exactly.
And you'll find your dementia daddy. Not somebody with,
we can do the Patreon together.
Not somebody with dementia,
no,
but
I know.
you're the darling.
No, yeah.
You be the dementia daddy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
D&D.
No, I see it.
After dark. You got your co-host. There you go.
Perfect.
15% for the idea.
I know. I was going to say
That's
10. So
I'll take 10.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Good for you. Taking accountability, noticing, and wanting to change and wanting to get better. I think it's hard for some people to realize, I need to be to myself. I need to, especially if you're starting something with you're doing that's very energetically pulling, like not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, financially. And then you got to go home and try to keep somebody happy. It's hard.
Yeah. And that's, I just have to know my limits, and I can't give. Yeah, my dog, she's the love of my life. I tattooed on her because.
What kind of dog is it?
On me, because I missed her when I travel so much. She's a little terrier. Her name's Napa, after my Nana and Papa, just smushed together.
Wow, you're smart. And how old?
She is 9.
Wow, up there.
But I got her at 4. So.
You have plants?
Lots of plants.
There you go. Focus on the plants and the puppy.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and my niece and nephew.
Yeah, them too. Amy,
Yeah, I mean, she just wants me to focus on Orange Theory, but we'll see.
Wow. And what do you think is something you learned about yourself with that last relationship?
Oh, God. I feel like a lot of things, honestly. But I think number one is that I can't be scared of speaking my mind. With ADHD, I'm sure you're aware, like rejection sensitivity disorder is like very intense with people with ADHD, where we just like take rejection and amplify it and think we're pieces of shit. If someone just looks at us wrong or uses a period in a text, we're like, everyone hates me. It's terrible. And it ruminates for years, things that I say and so I hold things back even when I should feel safe with people to say things that I need in relationships, because I'm so scared of being rejected or it being belittled or something. And so I've been so quiet, and that's probably why my relationships, maybe that's why I'm not picking the right people, because I'm not being upfront enough about what I need and what I deserve, but I also don't think I knew. So I'm trying to figure that out and also find my voice. And I thought I would do that in this relationship after my last one, but it's like I just get so scared for some reason. And so I have to learn how to be brave if I ever want to be in a relationship again. So I have to like really work on that personally.
Wow, good for you.
Thank you.
Do you have a therapist?
Not at the moment, because my insurance, United Healthcare, shout out, said no. No more.
So no more
you don't
therapy.
Need it.
I'll send you some resources.
Thank you.
That I found, because I had a client, she was a nurse, and her therapy's expensive. And I was like, people like you're an ER nurse. You should be getting it for free.
Oh
I wish
my gosh,
she could.
healthcare workers?
Yeah. And because I've watched her go through it, because I've been with her. She's been with me, trained with me since she first started. and it's been I think 2 years now, and it's ER. It's like she told me how she like came in the training one day. She's like, I just delivered my first stillborn, and I'm like, what? No. And just stuff like that you see on a daily. This guy, some guy was drunk or whatever, masturbating to her as she was walking around, and I'm like
all the emotions.
Yeah, and I'm like, you need to find some type of support to get this off. There's got to be some type of nurse out there who's doing it, or some company. I found some resources for her. Thanks out to ChatGPT. Mine is called Chatiana, but yeah, I had to give her a little ratchet name.
I need to make a hot name for mine.
Ask it. That's what I did. I was like, hey, based on what you know about me.
It's not gonna be Chad.
No, not Chad.
I'm just kidding.
You need something more spicier.
But based off you know about me, okay, I'll do that little like prompt. Okay.
But yeah, so hopefully.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, I need to find someone good.
Yeah. We all do.
Yeah, we do.
Not me, but everybody
else. For therapy. I mean.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Relax. Dementia Daddy's not coming no time soon. He's probably out there. You just don't know it yet. Oh, search it when you leave here. Dementia Daddy. Watch it pop up. And his real name is Chad.
Not. Oh. Please, no.
How'd this happen? I spoke it to existence for you. 15%. D&D After Dark. So you go through all these emotions. You go to school. You realize you like working with the elders. You like the dementia situation. What kind of made you feel to shift into making actual business?
So when I started my Instagram, I never thought it would be my life one day as my work. But I started my Instagram in 2019, October, right before COVID. I think that's why it was helpful that why maybe I got a following right after at that time when COVID hit. But I just decided, I was like, I'm so sick of, I was at a nonprofit adult daycare center in town. I was the director at the time. And in all of my work and that one, it was the constant theme of me hugging these caregivers and saying, thank you, you're not alone, and them like crying and being like, no one's ever said that to me. So that's why I started Dementia Darling, to do that for everyone I could, and not just the people I could physically hug, to hug everyone. And in the world that I could have that was going through this. And so I started that in October, and 2019, and then I went full-time May of 2024. And what made it really apparent that it was time to jump was just I was getting so many opportunities for collaborations, for speaking opportunities, for all these things. And I had to say no because I had a full-time job.
Where are you working?
And Eugeria, an amazing company, woman-owned in Montreal. And they are the one-stop shop for dementia innovations from all over the world. So I actually sold innovations from the Netherlands.
Oh, wow.
And it was the coolest. And I still get to work with some of the tech. It's amazing. And
is that considered Dutch?
Yeah, Dutch.
Oh, right. And you're Dutch.
Yeah. I got to sell
circle.
actual Dutch things. And then I went to Amsterdam for a dementia study last September as well. So it's been full circle.
Smoke some weed?
Well, of course.
Shrooms?
No, not this time, actually. I was,
Red Light District?
No, I was like with a work group. So I just snuck out and like smoked sometimes.
Yeah.
But I had to be kind of cool. The Netherlands are very ahead in dementia care. Incredible what they're doing over there. So, but yeah, like last year in the fall, my friend who went full time a few years ago she's a huge influencer in this space. Adria Thompson of Be Like Care, she's the best. Oh. And I just love her so much. We went to Amsterdam together for that trip. She's amazing. And then she was also, we're doing a thing for Hilarity for Charity, Seth Rogen's. We're teaching a thing on Friday together. So she's a good friend of mine. But she was, talking with me, and she just spoke so much support and love into me that I just didn't know I needed to hear. And she was like, Carrie, you don't understand that you can do this. Like, you already have a business. Like, you just have to do it. You just have to jump. And I literally quit 2 weeks later after she told me that. And I'm just so proud that I did. And it's been hard. I'm so grateful my parents support me and, to get to this point. So now I can pay my bills, but they're so supportive and let me do that jump. I'm very lucky. That is not lost on me. Very privileged. And, but yeah, being able to do that and just jump in and try. It's just me. I am figuring it out every day. So it feels weird to be like, I'm a business, but I have an LLC. I'm trying my best. I did my first taxes as an LLC. I'm trying. I'm trying to figure it out. I chat GPT a lot. How do I be a business person? But I, just trying to figure it out. can't wait to be able to have a team one day. That's the dream, to have just someone that can help me. That would be so cool. But to think that people need a pink-haired girl on Instagram that much, that I could do it full time and make it a speaking gig after gig after gig, in person events for senior living and senior care industry is just wild to me. Mind blowing.
It is.
It is. I literally created the job. I just made it up. And now that's what I do. It's wild. So we'll see how long it lasts. I pray it lasts long.
Ain't no we gonna see. It's gonna last as long as you choose
I'm just
to make it last.
trying.
No, you're not trying. You're doing.
Thank you.
Trying would have been not quitting your job and staying there. Not saying you're unhappy, but still waiting to jump.
Yeah.
One of my favorite speakers said a lot of us in life are stuck playing double dutch.
Ooh, I wish I could.
Should I jump in? Though. Should I go for it?
Yeah.
Should I not? When there's people out there who need what you got, but you sitting here playing, scared to jump into those damn ropes.
It's scary
and
out
here
there.
You are. It is scary. I've worked for myself now for 3.5 years, and every time, every day, it's always different. You never know. Is this going to be a good month, a bad month? Do I still want to do it? There's always endless work to be done. But at the end of the day, I'm like, that's part of it. I asked for this. You know, if I don't like it, I can go back to whatever and work for somebody, which is not right now what I would want to do. So shout out to you. You're inspiring other people out there who might be playing double dutch still and on the fence.
Right. Thank you for
jump your ass in. Stop being
Jump.
Stop being scary. Jump. Have you ever felt like giving up?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Because of my rejection sensitivity and just my depression, I get in holes every couple months where I'm like, I think this is it. I think we're gonna tap out. Can't do it, just how is it gonna sustain? How is it gonna, I had to ask mom and dad for money again. This is just never gonna work, So I go down holes quite a lot, and they're kind of part of it now. They're part of the process now, I feel like, because like you said, some months you're like, I just made a ton of money.
Yeah.
And then the next month you're like, I made nothing. You're like, how am I going to sustain this?
Yeah.
It's scary. And so, yeah, I do have those moments all the time. And my family and my friends are like, bitch, you are doing it. Just like you said, you're doing it all. Stop.
Yeah.
This is normal.
It is.
So I just have to remember that.
I might sound crazy, but sometimes I like not the thrill, but like you said, there is ups and downs. Months are good, months are bad. To me, I've switched my mindset when I have those months, when I very first started. This is to see if you're really you're made for this. This is really to see if you're going to stick it through and figure out a way. Because when I first did it, I quit both jobs and I started working for myself. 3 months in, I was like, all right. I went back on Indeed, started looking at gyms, like, okay, I need to go back and find, I need that safety net of a guaranteed check.
Yeah.
And I had to check myself. I was like, you know what? If you can't weather this little storm that's here, and it wasn't even nothing crazy at that point. I was still making money, but it just something hit me after 3 months. Like, this is really happening. And I had to check myself, and I was like, this is the test to see if you really are about this life and if this is really something you want to do. And I was like, you know what? Let's go. Like, I had to make sure with myself, am I doing everything in my power to keep this business afloat? Am I promoting the best? Am I reaching out to people? Am I marketing myself the best? And I was like, all right, maybe I'm not. Maybe I can do better. There's definitely something I can do more of. And once I made that mindset change, I'm like, there's no going back.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. If shit gets real bad, I'm going to go donate blood and plasma.
We'll figure it
do
out.
what I got to do.
We'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah. No, and once you get the taste of working for yourself, you're like, no one's ever going to be on, my boss again.
Oh, period. Because I even tried maybe a year ago and a half ago now, I had left. After about 2.5 years, this startup gym was looking for trainers. So I went there to help them. So I technically had a boss again. And to be honest, the person wasn't the best leader with that kind of business. But it made me open up and realize, like, this is exactly why I don't want to do this.
Exactly.
Or work for somebody else.
Makes you work harder.
Or even want to open my own gym at no point, because then I have to deal with people under me. It's just, no. Yeah.
No, I totally agree.
What helped you or helps you those moments when you feel like giving up to keep you, anything you say to yourself, anything you remember?
Yeah. It's the least you can fucking do for these caregivers.
Is what? Show up? Show up.
They show up to the hardest job 24/7. 365, and you can fucking show up to be Dementia Darling. That's literally how I talk to myself, because I have to remember why I'm doing it. And it's like, I do it for those people that message me in the middle of the night that said, I was just crying on the floor, but I read one of your posts and now I feel less alone. Thank God for you. Or the message I got from a guy that said, my dad has been taking care of my mom in China and he's so lost, and I am now translating your post for him, and it's helped so much for our family. Thank you. That's why. And so I just remember that. I have a folder of all the comments like that, and I go to it if I doubt myself and say, like, you're not that great.
Damn, that's a good idea. I need to be doing that.
It's called I think it's like my DD praise file on my phone or something. DD praise, yeah. And it's just all the praise that I've gotten in from celebrities, and I go on there and I'm like, okay, you're right. You're doing something really important. And then that helps. Because it's, again, the least I can do for these people. That's how I feel, honestly. And for the people living with dementia that show up every day bravely living with this disease. It's the least I can do.
I like that.
Thank you.
Because there's times I get messages from people when it comes to sobriety, and even texts or even just DMs, especially with people I know. It's so wild. And for whatever reason, I hate clutter, so I always delete my DMs. Unless it's somebody I'm talking to on a consistent basis, and text threads. It just bugs me.
Oh,
even notifications. Like my notifications, I'll read it just to get it off my phone. And I might not even be in the space to reply. I'll reply till later, but I just hate seeing the little dot. And anyways, I'm gonna start doing that now when I get the messages, because I've gotten some messages where I'm like, whoa, I never thought you, or I never thought what I did or said would help you. But then I gotta think about the people who helped me when I felt my lowest. They shared a message or something that just got me, oh, wow, yes, I can do this.
Yeah.
Was it hard for you to show up like that on social media? Were you worried about how I'm going to look, how I'm going to be perceived?
A little in the beginning, but I have been so authentic from day one. I'm not like scared, because I show up without makeup. I show up, however I am, because it doesn't matter. It's not about me. It's not about me. If you don't like how I look, okay, follow another dementia educator. Like, it's not about me. It's about me showing up to give you the information that you need. It doesn't matter how, that looks or whatever. I sometimes get embarrassed because being in such a, just being around professionals, and then you're like me on Instagram kind of being like stupid or something, you're like, oh, am I going to be taken seriously? Like, sometimes I'll doubt myself there. But I think, honestly, my success has been due to being really authentic, because that's what we crave. And so I just try to remember that that's what people need to see, because I want to see influencers. I hate saying I'm an influencer. Like, I'm an educator. I'm not an influencer, but I'm an educator online. Like, I want to see them being who they are. I don't want to fake, like, overproduced whatever. And that doesn't, you're never going to get that from me in the first place. I'm too much of a mess. And I don't want to go above and beyond like that. Even my dad was like, I can't believe you go on there without makeup. And I'm like, I don't care. Who cares?
Nobody does.
Good.
I don't think nobody's going to look like, oh my God.
Well, you can put filters on. It's really nice. I'll put lashes on, like if I really feel gross. And so if you see like a fake lash, I'm not trying to hide behind that. I do use some filters.
I can report that one. If there's a message you can give out to caregivers who hear this, what would you give them?
First off, I know it's sometimes annoying to hear you're not alone, because it feels like you're so alone. But we are, caregivers often say we're alone together. We're in our rooms crying in our homes together, but because they have this connection, but you feel so alone in those moments. And I just want you to know and remind yourself that you are not alone. There are millions of people living this caregiving journey like you, and that doesn't make it easier, but it's nice to know that you are not alone, and that I just want everyone to know that's going through this, that they should be so proud of themselves. Can you imagine, like, looking back before you started being a caregiver? Like, if you could go back to 5 years ago, let's say you started, a couple years ago, and your 5 year ago person could see you now, they'd be blown away that you stood up and did that for your loved one. And you do these things every day. So just be so in awe of yourself and celebrate yourself, because you are doing the hardest job with very little support, and you are showing up for someone. And that is the coolest thing ever that someone can do for someone else. So just be really proud of yourself and know that I'm cheering you on and that you are so loved, even when it doesn't feel like it, when you feel so alone. I promise you, there are so many people that can understand you, and there's community here when you're ready.
How can others like myself who aren't in that space show support to your movement?
Yeah. Share anyone you learn about that is living with dementia, whether you're sharing me or just any resources that you learn about dementia. Please, show up for your people. When you learn someone in your life has dementia, do not shy away. That is the huge common occurrence in our world, is people go away because they don't know what to do. They don't know how to act. They don't want to mess up, let's say, or they just don't want to deal with it. And we can't keep going like that. The isolation is killing people faster when we leave them and we say, we're not going to deal with that. We only wanted you when you didn't have dementia. Show up for your people and help them find community. Help them feel seen in this. Help them not feel alone. Don't gaslight them, But please share it with them that there is community out there, and lead them to social media. Look up #dementia, and you will find hundreds of us like me, people like me, and actual family caregivers pages. Look up the specific dementia you're dealing with, Lewy body dementia, and you will find a caregiver that you can see is living your life almost, and you can feel seen. So just knowing that as a person who might not be dealing with that in your life, but if you ever meet someone, just say, I am so sorry you're going through that. And I know of people that I can, connect you with. Would you like that? And if you're not ready, that's okay. But here when you are, because it's a lot to take in. But there's education, there's community, there's support groups. And there's really cool, amazing people on social media that are like wholeheartedly supporting each other, and it's beautiful. And so I would ask you, I know that was a very long-winded answer to your question, but I would just ask them you to just share at Dementia Darling, dementia in general, to just reach out. People don't even try to reach out because I don't think they think it's out there. So just to encourage the people in your life to reach out, whether it's me or someone else. Just so they know they're not alone. They do not need to go through this alone.
Say less. What was I going to ask you? Damn, it was on the tip of my tongue. I forgot.
I talked too long, that's why.
That's okay. It happens.
I mean, that's my MO, so.
That's what I was to ask you. What advice would you give yourself, Carrie, when you finish college?
To believe in your abilities and your passion, and to not let people make you think that your sensitivity and love for what you do is a weakness. I was literally told after college, from people, you're way too invested and emotional about this work. And it deterred me for a little bit. It scared me but I wish I could tell myself, go in head first and don't let anyone make you feel that this isn't for you. Yeah, I think that's what I'd say.
Came a long way.
I think so.
I remember, we're up here in a few minutes, but I remember, because this is going to frame the next question. So I hadn't seen my grandfather in some time once he got diagnosed. Just knew about it. One day they said he left the house, called my grandma, and was lost. Didn't know where he was at.
So scary.
Yeah. So then I guess things progressed to where it got bad, to where he would pull a knife out and yell at the TV and get aggressive, which I didn't even know at the time that these were traits that happen, or side effects, symptoms. I don't know. Symptoms of dementia. So they had him in a home. And I remember in 2017, I wasn't supposed to go to California. I was on probation. So I was not supposed to be going to California, but
Naughty.
I snuck and went and hadn't seen him, and I just wanted to see him. So I went to the home where he was at and went there, sat next to him, and I'm trying to talk to him, and he just looked over to me. Good afternoon, sir. Yeah. And then went back, and I just broke down. I left. I was it was so shocking to me. Like he knew who the fuck I was.
Heartbreaking.
I was like, what the fuck? It was so, I don't know how to even explain it. It was just unbelievable to think that.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I know what dementia is, so I kind of get that his memory's going, but it was just hard to accept and see that and experience.
You can know something's gonna happen, but when it happens,
100%. Like,
yeah.
And then maybe a year later he passed away. Went to his funeral. That was my first funeral, probably my last. I'm not a fan of funerals. That's not how I like to last see people. So with that being said, what is the advice you would give people who are in that position of seeing their loved one and maybe not be remembered by them, or
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first off, you are so valid in being heartbroken in that moment. This is the hardest progression to watch a loved one go through. As we talked about, it's this long goodbye. And when they kind of get to that time where they forget your name, that kind of feels like a really big marker for people. It's always that fear of, when are they going to forget me? I always try to remind caregivers and also, of course, validate emotions. You do not have to, just all of a sudden be like, oh, I'm better now because she said this. No. But we have to remember that someone knowing your name doesn't prove their love for you. Someone remembering what you've done with them in the past doesn't mean they don't love you if they don't remember it. They're not the same thing. So we have to remember that their love is there and it will always be there. And again, them not knowing our name doesn't take away the love and the experiences and everything that we've had with them and that we can still have with them. There are still moments of joy that we can have and connection and love. And those are things we can look forward to. But it is so difficult, and it is something that people need to allow themselves to feel. Allow themselves to be upset. Take a little bit more time away if you need to from, your next visit. Do what you need to do, because we're not built to go through that kind of grief, and it's really hard. But I really ask that people remember that just because they don't remember who you are doesn't mean we don't keep showing up for them. Doesn't mean we stop doing things because, well, they're not going to remember anyway. Because no, we still do things because we love them. And memory doesn't equate love. Just being there, being together, and being connected and being with your person is what matters.
Deep. Final question. What's a quote you live by and why?
It's so funny. My mom said this my whole life, and it's like I was trying to think of like a cooler one to finish off on, but this is just what she said to me since I was 8. And it's just the first thing that always pops in my head when someone asks me like the quote of my life, and it's remember who you are and what you stand for. And I just always go back to that, and I just try to remember that. And, when I see someone who is, doing something that is wrong or, anything, just being really firm in who I am and what I believe, and sticking up for people living with dementia, speaking up when people say, oh, they're demented, and remembering who are you and what you stand for. You don't stand for that. And you need to speak up for people that can't speak up for themselves. So that's something that I really try to focus on.
So who are you and what do you stand for?
I stand for equality and justice for all people living with dementia and their families and caregivers.
There we go. That's the one. Anything coming up in August we should be looking out for from you?
Oh, gosh. There's a lot going on, but of course not in our community. So
No worries,
I'm going all over, but I'm speaking in Bakersfield, California next month for a family caregiver event at an adult daycare center, which I'm really excited about. But I will be coming out with a really cool collaboration with Nevada HealthLink this coming August. So that will be nice. You'll be able to see me in Nevada HealthLink stuff around. And then also I'm going to be holding a CEU course, which is a continuing education credit course for nursing, and it's a nursing CEU certification for senior living. So I'm so sorry, I can't speak right now. For senior living management and nursing staff. And so I'm going to be doing that in all over Texas and one in Las Vegas. And that is going to be open for all people that need those credits. And I'm doing a 6-hour dining with dementia course with an amazing chef, a culinary expert in the senior living space. And we're talking all about how to have the best dining experiences while people are living with dementia and supporting those. So that will be actually happening in October in Las Vegas. I'll be teaching. Mm-hmm.
Any last words?
Just thank you, caregivers. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for showing up. And thank you for, I'm here. Hi. Caregivers, take care of you. And remember that you deserve care just as much as your loved one does. And you are doing an incredible job. You do not have to perform 24/7. You are doing it all. And just know that you're loved and you're not alone. So thank you.
Thank you, Carrie, for making the time and coming on the BambooSZN Podcast. I appreciate your story, your journey, especially everything you're doing for a community of people who need more support and help.
Thank you.
I will tag her Instagram in the link, or not the link, in the description of this podcast. And you know I got to do the best, your favorite part, leave you with the word, baby. A part of growth is allowing yourself to feel. Allow yourself to feel sad, feel mad, feel angry. Don't fight that discomfort. Feel it, understand it, and allow yourself to just be. Growth is ugly, so get with it. 2 words. Keep growing.